Welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I'm going to be checking out Keystone Kapers on the Commodore 64. Now, obviously this game has been one that I've played a few times on my channel. If you've been following me, you've seen a bunch of different videos. I've done the Atari 2600 version a few times. That's like one of my more favorite games on the Atari 2600. And of course, recently I've been doing my own conversion of the game on the Intellivision, which I'm hoping to get released soon. But while I was doing, looking around on the web to see what I could find on Keystone Kapers, there's a few versions out there. There's the Atari 5200, which I think is a little bit similar to this one now. And, a few other, I think there's been a few, like, here and there, just not officially published ones. And this is one of them. I believe this one came out kind of late, 2000s, I think. I don't know. It was something I just kind of stumbled upon. I didn't do a whole lot of research, but I know it's available on the web if you search for it. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to check it out and play it and see how it plays. So let's take a look. So we got the nice title screen here, and they got the Activision logo there, which is interesting because obviously these people don't work for Activision. And I like how they kind of duplicated the Activision screen too. Like I remember that screen for Ghostbusters on the Commodore 64 and a few others. I think Hero. This was probably the typical Activision screen that you got from the official Activision people. So let's play here. So get ready. So there's our Keystone Kelly down there. He's got a fancy little mustache. Now it looks like a mustache. It could be his mouth. And he's wearing a hat. You can see the hat looks a little bit similar. And he's got his little nightstick in his hand. Although the nightstick, he's holding it downwards. That's interesting. I guess he only wants to hold it upwards when he's running. But yeah, the graphics are definitely a lot more amped up. The skyline is almost the same though. So, whoa, that looks weird. So we got some hands going on here. Which elevator do you want? Is it gonna come down or what? Do I have to do something? I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Oh, jeez. Crook's getting away. He's running. I like the ball, though. I like how the ball kind of has that little swirl to it. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing something here. Like, the elevators seem to be taking a long time to work. There we go. Do I have to stand here? Because normally the elevators are just running on their own. Like, you don't have any control over it. You don't push any buttons or nothing. Like, so this is strange that it's, am I supposed to be pushing down here? Alright, well, we're in. Now what do we do? I think I'm gonna lose this first round. That Crook's getting away. Yeah, I think I lost there. But we got some detail going on here too. Looks like we instead of just the blue, I don't know, countertops is what they have in the original one. And you can see there's some little details on there, like the blue airplane, which I guess, later in the levels we'll see that flying. And those must be the radios. They're the old-timey radio things. Which I remember I always called them jewelry counters, because I thought that's what they always were. They look kind of like jewelry counters with the, the little lines coming out of them that looks like, the blinging, the bling look. But, yeah, right down there. That's right, there's one right there. But it looks the same as the Atari. I mean, they've amped up the graphics a bit. And the escalator looks the same. That was one of my challenges. I think when I was making this game for the Intellivision, the escalator was the biggest challenge for me. To try and get it to work, to even look remotely like an escalator. I wasn't able to figure out how to make it look like it does on the Atari one, with the black outline there. And so I had to go with the yellow color, which is, very, very similar to how the flooring and everything looks in my version. But obviously in the Commodore 64, it's got a lot more, ability to make better looking graphics for sure. You can do a lot of different colors on your sprites and stuff. So, I mean, so far, I mean, it's playing very similar. I find his run to be a little bit weird. I don't know if it's my computer just slowing down there. Probably is. And also, it does have the music in the background, which is different. It was something that I considered as well. Should I have the little soundtrack constantly running through the game? There probably is a way to disable this one. Usually there are. There's like a key, like S key or something on the keyboard, and you can disable it. So we got the crook. I don't know. His helmet kind of looks a little bit more like a, I don't know. I want to say like a fireman's helmet or something. I think because they put that little badge or something at the top. It's supposed to look like that police officer, the, what is it, Bobbies? The police officers in London have that hat. And it's got some picnic tables here. And of course that's another thing that I was considering too, is how much detail and, whoops, I keep hitting everything. You know, that having like the background details, they're good because it really does make it look better. But it also makes the game a little bit harder when you got a lot more graphics going on as to what you're allowed to hit and what you're not allowed to hit. Like you can see the radios are in the center there, but then there's some that look like the radio, like here, which I thought was the radio, but you know, it's not blinking and stuff, so you can run through it. So as much as, you know, graphics are great, sometimes they could really throw you off your game. Oh geez, I hit the shopping cart. I'm terrible at this version. Guess I'm not used to the jumping either. Let's go. It's got the briefcases in there and the money bags, so all that stuff's in there. Still haven't figured out the elevator, not the escalator. There's the shopping cart, of course. One thing that, for my version anyways on the Intellivision, that I can't figure out a way to really work around it, is to be able to show the shopping carts on every single level that they appear on, not just the the section of the floor that you're on. Because of the sprite limitations on the Intellivision, I was unable to, like, say, have two shopping carts appear at the same time. Say, the one on the bottom floor and the one on the top floor. Just because of the sprite limitations, you're only allowed 8 sprites for the Intellivision. And so, a shopping cart, for instance, has 2 colors to it. It has the black part and it has the white, which require 2 sprites. Same with the airplane. It's got the black and it's got that tan color. So each sprite being 2 sprites, plus the cop itself being 3 sprites, the robber being 2 sprites, you know, I ran out of sprites pretty quickly. I mean, I could have done it if I just made the shopping cart 1 sprite, or 1 color, but then we lose detail. We lose detail in the shopping carts, because then there's just going to be 1 solid white color. And I kind of wanted to avoid that. And I had to decide, do I want to have just plain white, you know, solid color planes and solid color shopping carts, or do I want to have nicely detailed ones and only show them on the same floor that you're on? So it was kind of a, you know, I had to decide, and I ultimately went with detail over, you know, having them show up. For the radios, though, that was a different story because I could just make them graphics and they weren't sprites. So that I was able to actually have, and the briefcase and the money, being that they were all 1 color. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I mean, it's cool to see it on the Commodore 64, I should say, and it does look a lot. You know, it looks like a really updated version of the Atari 2600. Even has the radar screen at the bottom there. Again, I talked about that in my video about when I created the Intellivision version, is that I couldn't, you know, the board itself took up so much of the screen that I had no room to put the radar there. So I ended up making it as a second screen. You'd have to push a button and then you get your radar, which also creates a pause screen, so kind of gives you a little bit of a extra thing there too. Ultimately, this is pretty cool. Like I said, you could pretty much find this on the web. I think I just stumbled upon it when I was just doing some searches on Keystone Kapers. I think it was when I was originally planning on making an Intellivision version of it that I started searching the web to make sure somebody didn't already do one. Because I figure if somebody already made one, there's no point in me making one too. You know, unless it was not so good or incomplete or something like that. The running sound is missing. That's the other thing I just noticed. He doesn't have that running noise. The shuffling of his feet. Although that could get irritating, I guess. So it's probably a good idea not to have it. There's a bit of a jump noise, but it's not much. Anyways, yeah, this is Keystone Kapers for the Commodore 64. Really cool. I probably would have played this a lot if I had this when I was a kid. I played on my Commodore 64 all the time, and a lot of the Activision classics that I played originally that started on the Commodore or on the Atari 2600, I played them all on my Commodore 64. Games like Hero and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you think of Keystone Kapers on the Commodore 64. Be interesting to see this on other platforms as well. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Throw some comments down below. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later. Let's get that crook.